Good morning, investor and corporates. Welcome to SET Digital Roadshow Year-End 2023 Performance Review. This session will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the session by 30 minutes presentation, followed by 15 minutes Q&A. During Q&A, investor may leave your question in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. May I now invite WHA Utilities and Power Public Company Limited to start the presentation.
All right, good morning, investors. Welcome to our digital roadshow for investor. My name is Somkiat Mesan Tasawan. I'm the CEO of WHA UP.
Okay, I'm Prakap Chinumsap, CFO.
Okay, I'm running about 30 minutes with Khun Prapon on presentation, and you may have another 15 minutes for the question. The first slide, I think, just want to show you where we are in terms of we are part of the bigger group company, the WHA Group, where they have 4 businesses. We are one of them, which is utilities and power. Our business is to supply water and managing wastewater in our industrial estate, and we're expanding business outside that core business as well. Just to show you, because we have utilities and power, our key business is utility, as I mentioned, managing water and supplying water and managing wastewater. We also have power business where we invest in various power projects. Right now, in terms of the size of the company, 2023, in terms of total volume on utility business, 155 million cubic meter in the last year. So it's about 7% improvement from 2022. And then, which is we have many type of product like the raw water, industrial water, demineralized water, and wastewater treatment plant, and reclaimed water as well. On power business, we invest in many types of power plant. We actually have a coal plant, gas-fired combined cycle. We have the renewable, we have hydro project, and as well. So I think we totally, in terms of equity megawatt, we have so far with the equity megawatt and operating asset, we have 659 megawatt, and so that's about the 2.3% improvement from 2022. But if we include everything in our portfolio, it meaning we have the pipeline project, we have signed the contract already, and we still under construction. Totally become 858 megawatt. So that if we count out those incoming projects, it will be 33% improvement from 2022. I think this is just to show in terms of our utility business and how we get the water and what the business we do, just for the investor who may not know our business quite well. We actually get the water from various sources. One from from East Water, which is a big supply. Also another new player in the water business in Thailand, which is a VSK. We also get some raw water directly from irrigation department. We also have our own reservoir from our sister company, Industrial Estate Development. And also we have our own using the wastewater as part of our, we improved our wastewater and make it to become our raw water sources as well. With those multiple sources of water, we do the water treatment plant and we supply to industrial customers, and then the industrial customer we consume the water and have some wastewater from their processes, and we'll either we manage those wastewater and or we use it as a source to improve and make it to become other product as well. So that's our business plan. And so our product side is that we have raw water, industrial water, wastewater management, and reclaim. And reclaim is something that we would like to focus more because it's something that is of high values and also manage the environmental awareness very well. And still on the utility business, I just want to show all the investor what we have as part of our industrial estate development in Thailand. We have 13 industrial estates, and all of them we have WHAUP as part of infrastructure and water utilities infrastructure development in those industrial estates in Thailand. All 13 of them. There's some expansion as well that I will go through a little bit later on. And in Vietnam, since our group of company going to Vietnam, there are a lot of new industrial estate in Vietnam that being developed and also has completion already. So we have the WHA industrial zone Nghệ An, which is already completed. The land has been 80% sold. We start some production on water already, and the volume is ramping up. We also have another new development in Thanh Hoa, and also one more in Quang Nam, which is under development. And there are other industrial estate under development as well at the early stage. So there will be more to come in Vietnam in terms of the utility infrastructure developed in industrial estate. And also we have the two joint venture in Vietnam. This is to supply bottled water to municipality. One is in Cửa Lò, which is Nghệ An, where our industrial estate is. So in Cửa Lò we hold 47%. This one we supply water to industrial estate, Nghệ An industrial estate as well, and we also supply water to other residential and industrial areas. We have also another project called Song Duong, which is in Hanoi. Okay, this one we supply water to Hanoi municipality, right, which is expanding. So this is what we have in Vietnam. Just switch gear to power business, just to show you what we have. I think the point that we like to make is that right now is that we are trying to develop more renewable energy. As I mentioned earlier, we have actually all types of power plant in our portfolio, but right now we are developing our own renewable energy, and I think we try to expand that renewable energy portfolio. If you saw this chart on the top right hand corner, before it was only very small, 1-2% in like 4 years ago. Right now we increased that megawatt portfolio in our for renewable energy up to 28% now. So that's quite substantial, and this portion will be growing because right now we are preparing and planning to focus on renewable energy going forward. Let's focus on a little bit on what we achieved in 2023 on power business. I think last year we have quite a good year in terms of our megawatt as well. We won the first time. This is the FIT Big Lot Solar in Thailand. We won 5 projects altogether, 125 megawatt. This is like the utility scale solar farm and supplying power to utility EGAT in Thailand. We also continue to do our solar private PPA, which is a solar rooftop. We signed 50 megawatt out of 42 projects. So this is also part of the pipeline that we are under construction at the moment. And we have also completed a few projects in the last years. Like the few names to mention is the large shopping complex in Thailand, which is called Mega Bang Na, which is about close to 10 megawatt, one of the biggest commercial scale solar rooftop in Thailand, and also another warehouse did have PKSH. So these are the two big projects that completed. Actually, there are a few more, but not mentioned here. Right. So in terms of other achievement in Thailand, outside, in terms of utility business, we signed a contract for reclaim water 15 years to a high value customers for 15 years. That's the value of the contract is about 1,800 million Thai baht. And also we expand the new industrial estate development called the WHAIER under construction as well. And we also have other awards which is important. One is that the first time for the WHAUP, we were selected and awarded the SET Award on Commended Sustainability Excellence Award. And also another one which we are proud of is that we got a AAA rating on the SET ESG rating in 2023 as well. And on sustainability highlight, which is also part and parcel of what we are trying to focus on. We're trying to do business based on the ESG strategy. One is that we have the wastewater management project, which is to try to manage wastewater. We try to have to release the wastewater as little as possible. We develop solar rooftop project, as I mentioned. We are still focus on social project, and we like the one that we use our knowledge on managing wastewater based on biological methods to manage wastewater, and we get a few others award for governance, AGM rating, or the CAC, which is anti-corruption committee, right? Another thing is I just want to show you, which is on the carbon footprint. I think I want to show you is that in terms of our internal emission of carbon, is that I think we try to use our technology and make sure we got it's reduced over time. You can see the gray boxes. The gray boxes here are reducing over time, whereas we are trying to develop project on renewable energy and increase our carbon offsetting. So I think you can see that we get more carbon offsetting, but in the same time reduce our carbon emission to the atmosphere. So right now, since 2021, I can say that we achieved the carbon neutrality already, and actually that gap is more in terms of we have the more carbon offsetting than what we emit. Okay, so I think this is a highlight. I think the next slide. This is the performance for 2024, and this last year, 2023. I'm sorry. Last year it was one of the best year for the WHAUP. All the businesses are doing very well on the right side of the chart. You can see that for the business that we are operating ourselves, utility business, we are growing 12%, and on our power business we are also growing about 28%. Altogether, for the business that we are doing ourselves, it's growing 14%. So I think that's quite substantial and quite a good achievement. For the joint venture that we invest with other partner for utilities business, which is part of the Vietnam in Cửa Lò and Song Duong, you can see our net loss contribution to our net profit is, even though still negative, but it's much improved from 2022. So that's 92% improvement. And just want to point out, if you follow utility business, this business takes time until the ramp up of demand ramp up. So I think the both project demand is ramping up quite well. So I think we expect it to be even better this year in terms of the joint venture for utility business in Vietnam. And for power business, for the joint venture with all the gas-fired coal project that we have joint venture with, I think last year also very good. We improved in terms of net income, 173% improvement. So altogether, last year was the best year, as I mentioned earlier, 1,587 million Thai baht and 254% better compared to 2022. Because I think everything is doing well last year. All right. So let's go to details. Before we go to details.
Okay. Thank you, Krab. So let's take a look in a quick summary of the performance in last year in year 2023. So let's start with the sales volume of utility business. The total sales volume in last year 2023 was 155 million cubic meters, increased by 7% year on year. The domestic sales volume increased around 4% year on year, mainly due to the increase of the demand of groundwater from our power customer, despite the lower demand of some key petrochemical customers. While the sales volume in Vietnam increased significantly last year by 18% year on year, driven by the volume of our Song Duong project in Hanoi. Next, please. So, in terms of the power business, let me start with the IPP power business, which are the large power plant selling power to EGAT only. The energy dispatch in 2023 of Kekawan coal-fired power plant, which is the biggest plant in our portfolio, decreased by 96% year on year. But because the plant was under the reserve shutdown mode as ordered by EGAT. However, please be noted that under the PPA with EGAT, even though we have no any power dispatch to EGAT under the reserve shutdown period, we still get the full revenue of availability payment or AP from EGAT as long as we can maintain the plant to be ready for operation. So there is no any impact to the cash flow of the plant under the reserve shutdown mode. Next please. For the SPP business, which we sell the electricity to both EGAT and our industrial customers, the energy dispatch from our gas-fired power plants, SPP power plant, co-invested with our partner in last year, slightly decreased by 0.1% year-on-year, mainly due to the lower demand from our industrial customers. Please. Okay. And in terms of our solar rooftop business, which we operate by ourselves, the dispatch continue to increase in line with the increase of the megawatt capacity under operation. The growth in last year, 2023, was 63% year-on-year, as shown on the right-hand side of the slide. Now, moving on to the financial performance of last year for the summary. As presented earlier, we had an outstanding performance in last year. In terms of the top line on the item number 1, which is the revenue from our own operation, plus the share profit from our investment. In last year, 2023, we recorded the revenue and share profit totaling 4,227 million baht, or increased by 52% year-on-year. The key driver is the share of profit from our investment in item 1.2. You can see that in last year, our share profit increased by 353% year-on-year, mainly come from the higher share profit from our power investment due to the higher margin of our SPP business because the FT last year was adjusted to reflect the gas cost, and also from the higher contribution from Gecko-1 coal-fired power plant due to higher availability payment under the reserve shutdown mode, as I mentioned earlier. Moreover, for our investment in utility business also contribute a good performance last year. The share of loss decreased significantly, as you can see in the slide in the table, mainly due to the solid performance of Song Duong project in Vietnam from higher sale volume and the increase of water tariff. And we still expect to see the continued growth from our Song Duong project in this year as well. And actually, not only share profit from our investment, our revenue from our own operation business in item 1.1, which represent our business which we do and operate by ourselves, such as selling water into customers in industrial estates or selling solar power under private PPA to customers, still provide a solid performance in last year as well. The total revenue from our own operation last year increased by 14% year-on-year. The growth came from both utilities and power business. For this reason, for the bottom line on item number 4, our normalized net profit or NNP, which is the net profit excluding the impact of foreign exchange gain loss in 2023, was 1,587 million baht, increased by 254% year-on-year. Okay. Thank you. Okay. And this slide, I would like to zoom in to show you the details of the share profit from our power business, which is a key driver of our outstanding performance in 2023. As you can see on the right-hand side, in 2023, we record the normal share profit from our power business of 1,423 million baht, increased by 120% year-on-year. Again, the key factors are the higher share profit from SPP business, as I mentioned in the light blue color, increased by 120% year-on-year, and also the higher share profit from Gecko-1 in the dark blue color, which increased by 513% year-on-year. Next, please. Okay. For this slide, just to give you a picture of the margin from selling electricity to our industrial customer under STP program. The graph shows a comparison between the average tariff charged to our industrial customer in the black line versus the gas cost per unit in the blue line. And the gap between the black line and the blue line basically is the gas spread or margin that we can get from selling power to our industrial customers. As you can see that in 2022, the gap between two lines was very narrow. In the past, the gap which is the margin was around 1.2%, but in 2022, the gap on the spread was decreased. However, in last year 2023, the gap expanded again to be the normal level. So that's the reason why our STP business performed very well last year. Okay, and last year our average of IU margin, as I mentioned, was come back to be around 1.2 baht per kilowatt hour, and we also see that the margin also maintained at this level in the Q1 of this year as well. So it is a good deal for our STP business. Okay, and this slide show you the share of profit or the contribution from our investment of the utility business in Vietnam. On the right hand side, from Song Luang project, you can see that in last year 2022, we record the share of loss from this project just only minus 8.3 million baht. So improved significantly from year 2022. Mainly as mentioned, mainly due to the higher sales volume and also the increase of the tariff of water. Okay, and this slide just to recap on the financial status ending last year. You can see that we still have a strong balance sheet. Our ratio of interest-bearing debt per equity, net interest-bearing debt per equity was around. Is still around 1 time, which is substantially lower than the financial covenant, which of not to exceed 2.5 times. So we still have a room to leverage to support our investment in the future. Okay, and lastly, in terms of the dividend payment, the board of directors have approved the additional dividend payment of 0.1925 baht per share, and it will be proposed to the AGM meeting in April and expected to be paid in May after the approval in the shareholder meeting. So the total dividend for year 2023, including the interim dividend paid since December last year, will be back to the total level of around 0.2525 baht per share, same as what we ever paid in the past during 2019 to 2021. That's all for the summary of the financial performance. So I will send it back to Khun Somkiat in terms of the business update.
Okay, thank you, I think we conclude our 2023 performance, which is a very good year. So we try to continue and build on that. In going forward, 2024 and beyond, I think we are on utility side. Our strategy is actually focusing on our core business, which is to support our industrial estate development as well, which is expanding. But I think we are trying to expand outside that in two ways. One is that we expand horizontally. Basically, we go expand our knowledge to other industrial estate or to other municipalities or maybe some special project in that areas. We also would like to integrate more to the customer demand. We're trying to provide more services and higher values product to existing customers that we have in terms of, again, providing higher value businesses. And I think the last but not least in terms of strategy is that we have to develop our team, because we are going, the world is changing and the business we are going to maybe something new. So we are developing our people to cope with those kinds of requirements. And in some details, I guess, is that in 2023, 2024 and more, is that this year we are trying to develop new project with industrial estate. As I mentioned, in some details here with something called ER that I mentioned earlier, also EC3, phase 3, and EC4, the WHA EC4 expansion project, which are brand new. And also we are trying to, as I mentioned, this is important in terms of our strategy. We are trying to find more customers with higher value added water to the customers. This thing that we have been doing quite well in 2023. We are trying to be more aggressive in terms of the target from 10.9 to 14.3, and that's about 30% increase. That's the target. And we also try to be more flexible and not rely too much on one source or another. So in terms of expand our alternative raw water sources are something very important as well. And one area is from our reclaimed water to be used for raw water supply. And then we are planning to go outside our comfort zone on the industrial estate. We go to other industrial estate. We already just signed a contract in WHAUP Asia. Asia industrial estate. We're also trying to go to other projects as well outside our industrial estate. Okay. So for Vietnam, which is also the new area that we are getting into, is that as I mentioned, in our industrial estate, we are ramping up in Nghệ An industrial estate. This year, all the customers are some customers already finished their construction. They are ramping up their production, so we expect it to be increasing quite a bit in terms of water demand in Nghệ An. And we also there are new customers coming in with industrial estate as well. Those are we are trying to secure more contract for new customers and in Vietnam. And for Cửa Lò and Song Duong, where we joint invest with other partners, I think again these two companies are ramping up in terms of demand, especially in Song Duong River. I think we are from 32 in last year going up to 34, and actually based on this first 2 months this year, actually the demand is higher than what we expected already. So I think that is all. We might have to consider to expand in Song Duong River very soon. Okay. And then for power business, in a nutshell, we are going to focus more on renewable energy. Not more. I think actually we will focus on renewable energy. And then in Thailand and overseas. In Thailand, there's still some opportunity. For example, like solar rooftop is C&I market. There are still new with RE100 requirement from new customer in industrial estate. There are that challenge that have us few more opportunities that could be very good in the long term for the WHAUP for the power business. And for Thailand, there are some talk about another round of bidding of FIT renewable energy again. So we are preparing for that. And we also need to go outside Thailand because there are many more opportunities outside for renewable energy. We are focusing in a few areas. Vietnam used to be one of the area, but because of some delay in terms of the regulation, even though we keep an eye on it, we'll expand to other countries as well. We also focus on S-curve business, which is there are a few things that are we are under study and development. Let me show you maybe the next two slides. As I mentioned, in Thailand, there's still opportunity for solar rooftop. As I mentioned earlier, in overseas, I think in Vietnam is a little bit slow and behind in terms of their regulation, but other countries we are talking to a few potential investment. So hopefully we can agree on something and make sure that we announce soon. On the next slide on the new business of power for S-curve, we just be focused on something quite new and should be launched very soon on EV charging business. This is different from other company, I would say, is that because the whole group, the WHA group is developing something called Green Logistics, where we focus on a commercial vehicle, I mean the truck and a third-party logistics. the designated route. So we are going to, as part of the group, we are supplying and investing in charging station along the route. So there will be very certain demand, very controlled demand that we can with a high volume as well. So this business we are developing. We actually already start some investment already in a small scale, and will be expanding quite rapidly later on. We will focus on carbon credit portfolio. This is something that we already have. As I mentioned earlier, we have some surplus on our carbon emissions, so we'll try to leverage on that. And there's some other S-curve business that we are focusing on to support RE100 in the near future as well. So totally in terms of target, next slide is that we're still growing I think quite respectfully. I think is that in terms of water, 455 in 2023 become 128 million cubic meter as a target, so about 15% higher compared to last year. And again, we will focus more on the alternative raw water, which is from 6 million to 10 million this year. And for solar, for power project, right now we have 858, as I mentioned, include operating asset plus the pipeline project. Already we are target this year. We will achieve 1,000 megawatt, which we already signed some project already in the first 2 months. So I think we have some other project we're still discussing. So I think 1,000 megawatt is achievable. And also I think we are also, again, we focus on renewable energy. So at the end, if we can achieve 1,000 megawatt, our PPA for overall renewable energy from 311 today become 455, which is a 45% increase. So I think that's a target that we have in terms of power as well. So overall, in the next 5 years, a longer term view is that for our plan is that the total revenue, normalized share profit and dividend in the next 5 years altogether will reach 30,000 million Thai baht, starting from 4,000 this year, last year, go up to 8,300 in 2028. Again, this is the forecast numbers, and we will try to maintain our EBITDA margin over 50%. And the 5-year capex based on what we see today to 21,200 million Thai baht. But if there is any new investment, opportunities, project, and new M&A or new project, this number will increase. I think that concludes our past and present and future for the WHAUP.
Okay, so this session has come to the end. Thank you very much, investor and corporate, for joining the conference. If you do need further details, please feel free to drop us an email. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
ขอบคุณครับ
ครับ